Ladies and gents, today I'm going to tell you the secret of success. There is a secret of success. And I'm going to teach you how to use it, how to think about it, how to apply it into your life. I call it the rule of reductive attempts. When you reduce something, right, when you're cooking, you reduce something, you're boiling things out, and then all you're left with is the thing that you want, right? So if you reduce salt water, you're going to boil all the water out, and you're going to be left with salt, what you're actually looking for, the fine particles, the crystals. Well, when you reduce your attempts, right, it's the same thing. You throw a whole lot of attempts into the bucket. You try this and try that and try this and try that, and you start losing here and failing here and failing here, and then you're left with the shiny golden nuggets at the very bottom, the golden nuggets of success. You see, I have tried a gajillion things in my lifetime, all sorts of things. I tried to be a web designer, I tried to be a graphic designer, I tried to be a videographer, I tried to be a foreclosure expert, I tried to be an insurance agent, I tried to be a real estate agent, I tried to be a handyman. I owned a DVD company. I've literally done everything. Social media superstar at our big YouTube channel. We've succeeded at that. But there were a lot of tries and a lot of attempts. And in those tries and in those attempts, I found out the things that I didn't want. All the things that I didn't want. Now, every single attempt, or all the things that I wasn't successful at, I failed. I failed a lot. But in all of those attempts, it's like putting the salt water in, right? All of those attempts carry little seed, little bit, a little amount of wisdom. And I had to go through the fail. I had to go through the boiling process in order to get that little seed, that little salt crystal, to come down to the bottom, and so that way it could be reduced into more and more dense properties. I'm going all chemistry on you guys, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think that it's a good analogy. I think. So all of the attempts, right? When I failed, I stopped doing this. I stopped being an insurance agent, but I learned something. I learned how to sell. Stopped being a real estate agent, but I learned something. I learned how to study. I learned how to educate myself. I learned how to value a property. I learned how to look for valuable properties, which led me to more success later on. I learned how to negotiate. I learned how to look at contracts. I tried to be a graphic designer. Sucked at that. Actually, I'm pretty good at graphic design, but I wasn't very good at charging like rates that were solid. Plus, you guys all know, if you've ever done agency work, it's never good enough. You send it to the client, and they're like, well, maybe we could do this line over here and that line over there. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Anyway, I wasn't good at that, but I learned how to do graphic design, which was tremendously helpful for YouTube thumbnails. I failed at being a website developer, but I learned how to code my own websites, HTML, back in the day. Now I just drag and drop stuff, but I learned how to use software. So every time that I failed, there was a little bit of that water boiling out. But the sweet stuff, the crystals, the wisdom, that became denser and denser and denser until the water was almost gone. And then I started a new business, which is our agency right now. And then wham bam, all of the wisdom, all of the salt, all the good stuff, the minerals, all of that stuff I combined in a way to create a multi-million-dollar business. Reductive attempts, reductive trying. So the point in all of this is, if you're not trying, if you're not failing, then you're not going to see success. Success doesn't come from sitting on your butt, flipping the remote and watching television shows or Netflix. It comes from doing stuff. Success, hate to break it to you, it doesn't come from reading books. You gain wisdom from reading books, but I think a lot of people have convinced themselves that because they're reading the latest book by Alex Hormozy or Seth Godin or Gary Vaynerchuk, that they're actually doing something. They're not. Intelligence what you feed your brain, and wisdom, two completely different things, right? Intelligence is knowledge. Wisdom is applied knowledge. It's applied intellect. And there's a whole lot of people that are successful and dumb. There's a whole lot of people that are successful and dumb. And there's a whole lot of people that are very, very smart and broke. Do stuff. The difference is doing. One of the quotes that I use in every single one of my platforms is that a successful teacher must also be a doer. Is that what I say? Something along those lines. I can't lead you guys without having gone through it. I won't pretend to teach you how to make $1 billion. I haven't been there. Once I get there, I'm happy to come back and teach you everything that I know. Teach you everything that I know. I have a suspicion that how to make $1 billion factors in way more than I can even fathom at this point. And a lot of it is used in, a lot of it is about leverage, timing, connection. But I don't know those things. And so I can't teach you those things. So I am teaching you the things that I've done, that I'm doing, because they have worked for me. And I can tell you right now that if you want to be successful, if you're 0 or 6 figures or even 7 figures and you're just like, hey, I want to get to 8 figures with you, you need to be doing things. Every single day I am doing things. I'm taking action. I'm doing uncomfortable things. And I bet you that you know exactly what you need to be doing in order to get to where you want to go. You just haven't talked yourself into actually taking that action. So I read a book this morning. I was reading a book or listening to a book on Audible, Tanner Chidester's book. Tanner Chidester, if you don't know who he is, he was a fitness coach, made millions of dollars there, and then he became a business coach, and he's made tens of millions of dollars there. Very, very smart. His personal life, not. He gets into stuff that I'm like, but he's got a lot of business wisdom, so I'm always interested in learning from people who have done good things in their life. And this is sidebar. This is another thing that I want you guys to understand, is that even though you might not identify with every aspect of someone's moral standing, where they stand integrity-wise, there is stuff to learn from literally everyone. And so you might not like what someone has done in their personal life. Maybe they cheated on their spouse, or maybe they, committed crimes or whatever. You might not like that. But that doesn't mean that they don't have value. Now, I don't want to say like, hey, we should go out and buy every criminal's book, or we should support all these people and their bad habits. No, man. Stand as a voice of like strength and call people out for their BS and let people know how you're feeling, because a lot of people just need to be kicked in the booty to get back in line. And I do genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that there are extremes, and there are people that exist in the extremes, and then there's these norms, and you have to fit within the norm in a lot of different ways in life. You can't always be living in the extreme, because it's just crazy. Sometimes we're leading the norms, but the extremes just get a little bit wild. So anyway, it's beside the point. I was reading his book, listening to his book, and he was talking about how when he was young, when he was a kid, middle school, he was bullied. And so he decided that he wanted to, the only way to get to stop being bullied was to get so big that he could beat up the bullies, so he could beat people up. And so he went to the gym, hit the gym, and started, bulking out, getting muscle, which is awesome. I actually have a very similar story. I wanted to be the same way. I was kind of picked on all through high school, had low self-esteem, and then after high school, I decided I want to get jacked. Gained 30 pounds of muscle mass, and just was pretty rock solid. Didn't feel any better about myself, but I at least had some false confidence. Anyway, what Tanner said was, after he did this, he showed himself that hard work in one area gave him what he wanted in that area. And so he decided to take that work ethic and apply it to another area. And he applied it to his education. And he started getting straight A's. And he applied it to his relationships. And he started dating girls. And then he applied it into his business. And he made millions of dollars. Determination, grit. It's just hard work, right? If you've ever worked out to the point where you have muscle fatigue and for a long enough period of time, you've seen the gains, you know that if you put effort into this for a significant period of time, you will see results. That concept is exactly the same with entrepreneurship. If you put effort into something for long enough, you will see the results, but you have to take the action and you have to stay consistent with it. You have to take action, you have to stay consistent, and then you will start to see the results. And this is exactly how I built my business. It doesn't happen overnight, and there isn't always a clear path. And this is why I'm a strong advocate of mentorship, finding someone who has done what you want to do, and listening to them and allowing them to push you and hold your hand and be a voice of wisdom and education for you. So that way, when you stumble, you don't have to try and figure out what you are going to do in order to, there's a path for you. But the advice that I want to give you guys is that you know what work you should be doing right now. You know exactly what you should be doing in order to make more money. If your goal is to make more money, you know exactly what you should be doing in order to make more money. I know exactly what I should be doing to make more money. I need to be getting in front of more people with my message. I need to be getting into the DMs and messaging people and following up with people that have messaged me before. I need to be getting on calls. I need to be doing more events. I need to be doing more presentations. I know exactly what I need to be doing. I know exactly what drives the needle. So this morning, after reading that book, after thinking about this, I was like, okay, get your butt in gear, Scott. And so I sat down, I knew what I needed to do. I ended up making like 10 videos for my low ticket program. I think I told you guys about that before. Part of what we're doing is creating a low ticket funnel. So that way we can run ads, people can opt into the funnel, and then we can ascend them into through the value ladder and then do calls with them. But I've been sitting on this stuff. I needed to make these videos. Hadn't made these videos. And so that's what I focused on today. Knocked all of them out. Super stoked about it. It was so efficient, so productive. Made this video, created another video. We're rocking and rolling on our faceless channels. If you guys want more updates on faceless channels, happy to do that moving forward. But all in all, it's been a very productive day because I said, what do I need to do? And I went and did it. Again, you guys, reductive attempts, do more of them. If you're in that starter phase, just attempt things, just try things. Somebody messaged me the other day about what to do if you're, if I were to go back and say, like, starting at 17, what would I do to make money? I'm going to make a video on that, like, for teenagers. What would you do? What should you do to make money? But I just want to say, like, one of the things that I am super proud of that I did at that age was try things. Was just try everything. I went to college. I got a 2-year degree, but I never knew what I wanted to do. Like, I went there with the intention of, like, I'm going to be a psychologist. I'm going to go into dental school. I want to be a lawyer. I tried all these little things, and I was like, ultimately, I was just like, no, I'm going to go be an entrepreneur because I can't figure this stuff out. My philosophy on education right now that I teach our kids is like, if you want to go to college. Just take any class you want. Don't go in any order. You don't need a degree. You just need to collect as much wisdom as possible. And you're not going to collect as much wisdom as possible doing 3 years of English because it's a prerequisite, or 17 different logic classes or whatever. It's like, go into something. If you find out you're genuinely interested, take it as far as you can. But go into college and just learn. Just dabble. Just gain wisdom. Collect it. Reductive attempts. You'll figure out what you want to do. You'll eventually become successful. That's it, you guys. Catch you on the next one later. Bye.